Hey, hello, welcome back to another video from Ghost Without Socks On. This is something that came from my news in my Twitter news feed. I have the links both to the tweet and the article down in the doobly-doo. Students warned to remove letters out signs from their window, which is interesting. Obviously, it's to do with the coronavirus based on the signs. My little favourite one here, I hate my flatmates. Yeah, you know. University bosses reportedly warned students to remove protest signs from their accommodation windows. Reportedly, like we literally have in this tweet here a email screenshot. We are contacting you today to ask you for the signs which are on display in your window in your flat need to be removed. Please ensure this is removed ASAP. Thank you. Kind regards, student Levins, all attending the Gestapo, the secret police, and you won't like what happens there, which is interesting. Some of the 17,000 students at Manchester some 17,000 students at Manchester University were put to lockdown after 127 students. That's not a lot. That's a very small percentage of people tested positive for COVID-19. You're going to put the teachers in? You putting teachers in isolation as well? I didn't think so. This is a bit extreme, especially as I think it says later down in the article that they weren't given any warning at all beforehand, which is absolutely mad. Even if they showed no symptoms, students at the Brierley campus and Cambridge halls were told to self-isolate for 14 days, leaving many left wondering how they would get food and essential supplies. Students, possibly known as the poorest people, definitely in the UK, for like getting things other than booze, and definitely is this worry of a second lockdown coming, because obviously students are mingling, so you're going to get more tests coming up positive, coming in and localized lockdown. Of course, shops don't have deliveries for get these supplies and food. Like, can't feed your students. Surely that's not the best thing, which makes me glad I didn't go to university in the end. The handling of the situation has been heavily criticised by students who claim they received no warning of the strength of measures that would hit back by sticking posters in their window. People put stuff in their window. It's not that bad, really. I'm not saying like burn down the university. It's not some sort of call to action. It's just sort of expressing what they do, expressing how they feel. That's kind of, students like to express how they feel because they have nothing better to do, because they can't even go get drunk. One of the signs reads "Tories out, fuck Boris." One of the signs reads "Tories out, F Boris," while another describes the holes as HMPMMU, referring to Her Majesty's Prison Service. Yeah, it's kind of probably what it feels like. I think that's what locking your students in is kind of what I think a lot of the police force want to do very much in the early days, possibly in these days after they've done the 10 p.m. curfew and the no rule of 6 was the tell on your neighbour and you'll get rewards. In an email reportedly sent from Student Living, students were told to remove the posters. "We are contacting you all today and asking you about the signs which are on display on the windows in your flat need to be removed. Please ensure this is removed. They are removed ASAP." And here's the tweet, which I will link to down in the doobly-doo. See, like the co-positive, but they're just enjoying life, because obviously you have to, because no one can spontaneously self-isolate for 14 days. Or let me rephrase that: the vast majority of people can't self-isolate for 14 days without warning. Students at the Brierley campus described the scenes as confusion, fear, as security staff arrived to enforce lockdown before many of them had received an any official communication from the university. That would be a bit terrifying. You're just like, having a nap or going like on your computer reading some news, and then boom, the university police are there to make sure you're locked down. First year film year first year film student Dominic Wadding, 21, said a few people got an email announced that they were locking down my accommodation, but not everyone got that. There was a big freak out for everyone. Yeah, you can imagine there'd be a big freak out when the university police are coming around saying, no, you cannot go outside. Definitely has some interesting, to say the least. There was a security guard that then just arrived at the gate of our accommodation and wasn't letting anybody leave, not really explaining what was going on. That would also be horrifying. I'm surprised they only sent one, because one part of us is a bunch of angry students that can't leave, angry and terrified students. Megan T, a 19-year-old fresher student, she and most of her flatmates have tested positive for COVID-19 3 weeks ago. She said, we haven't received any advice about how to get food in. Obviously, we haven't done any food shops. How are you surviving? Because I know I can't survive for 3 weeks on bare minimum food. I presume we can offer stuff to the gate and get. I presume we can order stuff to the gate and they can leave it there, but I'm not sure. They gave us no time to prepare. If they had given us a day, we could have at least gone out, stocked up. Yeah. Well, you really getting it positive for 3 weeks. I think just incubation is 2 weeks, and then it's not got much of a lifespan. I haven't actually looked that up right now. But what is it going to be locked down for indefinite? Officials at the university say the lockdown was necessary to prevent the spread of COVID-19 to other students, staff, and the local community. Yeah, but how many of these students are going to drop out or not come back? So I think really in the future you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot for a whole 127 people that tested for a form of coronavirus. If an update to students in the university says, we know, as you know, this was a decision taken in conjunction with Public Health England and Manchester City Council, and was taken on the basis of latest data. Great. More than 100 students tested positive for COVID-19 in Hull. The decision was deemed necessary to prevent the spread of the virus to other students. Definitely, yes. Necessary for the greater good. You must stay in your house. You cannot go outside. You cannot get food. You must starve to death. Kind of definitely feels like that, especially if there's a security guard not letting people out. Yeah, help us send BN. As we all know, students in the UK definitely live on BN, probably in other parts of the world. Professor Malcolm Press, Vice Chancellor for the Manchester Metropolitan, said, I recognise the impact of the situation is having on our students. Partially given at the extremely short period of time they were given, we had to inform them of the decision. Many of them are far away from home, and the first time they're still finding their feet. Yeah, because you hadn't even properly sent out emails to people, and you had security guards turning up, not letting people out. So yeah, they're gonna get really confused. Their welfare is our top priority. Yes, you can let them starve to death. Great. And that is why they have seen. That's why they've been working hard with the organisations around the city since Friday evening to put in place support them during the 14-day period. So yeah, 14-day period, but it says tested positive. She tested positive. Where is it? 3 weeks ago. Presumably they've already had it and already passed over it, so it's a bit late for a lot of them. Also, if they survive, should they be allowed to go out? Like, they won't have it anymore. We are urgently preparing care packages which we hope to ensure students will have the essentials which will have the essentials they require in halls, plus financial support to assist them through the challenging period. You better give them a lot of financial assistance, because I can imagine some parents be taking you to the Sui court. We expect students to follow the guidance and self-isolate set out by the government and Public Health England. Our staff are on hand 24 hours. They to provide support, guidance, and details during the concern. So if it's just guidance to self-isolate, why do you have security guards not letting people in if it's just a government guidance? If the government doesn't have a test, track, and trace system in place to get students back to their families at Christmas, it has to describe it as pathetic. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, if they can't get their students back by Christmas, well, surely these 1,000 should be allowed to go back to their 1,700 should be allowed to go back to their parents, because they've all self-isolated and the risk of having it. So that's 1,700 people going back. We are unable to prevent our students from leaving the halls, but our students are bright young adults, and we trust they will do the right thing. Are you unable? You have security guards, not like people that leave, but you're unable. What's the security guard doing there then? Because not like people leave. Who sent him if it's not you guys? This is kind of the gist of the story. At Glasgow University, self-isolating students put up signs saying students not criminals, help us, send beer. And after 120 students tested positive for COVID-19, see, these are small amounts of students. Like, they're testing positive, but how many of them are actually dying? That's sort of the more important bit, but it doesn't matter. I will be back, hopefully more regularly, with some more updates. But this has been Ghost Without Socks On. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and like, because really word of mouth is the only thing keeping this channel actually getting any information out there, and any news at all. So I'll leave you with this lovely article here at the top. I'll get the link to it and the link to the Twitter post, so you can read through all the replies if you'd like to. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.